Welcome back to Fox 8 News in the morning. Live look at the roads this morning. Not too bad at 8:51 on this Tuesday. While there was a lot of ugliness in downtown Cleveland last weekend, there was a lot of beauty in the way that many came together to help clean up in the aftermath of the riots. Ricky Smith helped lead the effort. He joins us this morning with the message of positivity. Ricky, good morning. Thanks for being with us today.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Now, for many who don't know about what you guys do, obviously you're all about helping. Explain everybody what your mission is. It's RAKE, right?
Yep, RAKE, Random Acts of Kindness Everywhere. Not to sound cheesy, exactly what it sounds. It's just trying to spread positivity and awareness and just ways that people can think outside of themselves and help others, whether it be small, whether it be big, just on a daily basis, if you will.
Ricky, you were downtown for the protests over the weekend. Talk about what you saw and some of the destruction that you saw as well.
Yeah, to be honest with you, the protest itself, there's a lot of time from 1 to 6. It was a little bit of people doing some bad things during that time, but for the most part, it was amazing people coming together to let their voices be heard, let their displeasures and let them know that they're a little frustrated and figure out ways that we could work together to kind of fix some things that we think that are kind of messed up in this great country of ours. So it's just kind of people that love the country, people that just want to make it a better country for everybody. And there was drum circles, there was people handing out water, there was things. But like I told some people before, friends of mine, it kind of was an escalated version of everybody's selves, if you will. So people who wanted kindness was about kindness. People who wanted to show what they were doing, wanted to show their things. Unfortunately, like anything, you had a couple bad people that came down and their message was a little different. They were hostile. They showed their displeasure with things that are going on in ways that most of us don't agree with. And so that was a little disheartening for the overall situation of the protest. Like I said, for the most part, I actually learned how to do a drum circle with some people showing dance and things of that sort.
Wow, that's pretty cool. You stepped in, though, for some of the things that were happening, something with a flag I saw on the Instagram.
Yeah, there was some kids that were, going to lower the flag and do some things that I didn't think was on the up and up. I didn't think that it was warranted for that. I didn't think, especially at that time. I think you have this mob mentality sometimes, so people don't know what to do. And so they see people doing some things and they think it's the right thing to do, things they might want to do. So I just simply talk to them. I don't know if it's the beard that I have that I've been growing in, but just talk to a lot of people and understanding their point of views and explaining to them why they should do this or why they shouldn't do that. And to be honest with you, again, I don't know if it's the beard or what it was, but most of the people listened to me. Curfew time, the protest time was from 1 to 6. After I left about 6, 7 o'clock, that's when, things kind of got crazy. But for the most part, it was amazing to see. I don't know what it would be like in the 60s and 70s, the protests and things of that sort. But it was good to see people of all ages, races coming together to kind of stand together to come together with something.
Well, you also saw the aftermath of everything. Got a great group to go help out downtown. What were you guys able to accomplish?
Oh, I love my city, man. I am a Cleveland guy through and through. Everything I do is Cleveland related. And just wanted to also let people know that, hey, some people that were down there protesting are here to help clean up. It's things that happen unfortunate with some buildings and glasses. But if I tell you, man, it was almost like the energy felt like a Cavs game before a playoff game. It was people down there. Nobody was pointing fingers. Nobody was blaming. Nobody saying, oh, well, they did this. They shouldn't have done that. It was people with bags in hands. Just simply picking up garbage, and we were going to different stores and restaurants after they needed help, and the restaurant people were thanking us. We got round of applause from different people, and even the workers themselves downtown were saying thank you. So again, it's very minor in the whole scheme of things. People that do negative things and bad things, but there's so many people. There's even with yourself and social media in the world. Do something, and 1,000 people say nice things. 3 things people say 3 bad things, and it's like, those are ones that stick. But just showing people that the narrative that we're all in this together, man, and we have different views and different perspectives. I know we're in a trying time right now, not just with this, but with the virus and things like that. But at the end of the day, if we individualize everybody and realize we're all people, we all were kids, we all were little kids playing, that we all are people, and we just value us as humans.
Ricky, as we wrap this up, I was kind of stalking your Instagram and your website and everything. You're a pretty cool guy. You got a great thing going. But I love your quote. It says, my advice is you can do something. You don't have to be rich. You don't have to be famous. As long as you have breath, hands, even a smile, a joke, anything can brighten somebody's day. We have to wrap this up. But for those who are looking to help out, how can they get in touch with you?
The website is rakenow.org, RAKE.NORG. They use the hashtag rake. I usually pop up somewhere, but even if I'm probably unconventional and a nonprofit founder, I just say simply do something kind, man. For a stranger, it doesn't have to be for somebody who's poor or in need. Do something for anybody. We all are going through something. Literally, I used to say that anyway, but now I know for a fact we're all going through something with the virus and what's going on in the world, so we all can use kindness. So just do what you can, but also too, I know we have to go, but trying to understand. To me right now, we need understanding more than anything. If you don't understand, that's fine. Say you don't understand, but be open-minded to trying to understand what people are saying and going through.
Ricky Smith, thanks for all your work. Thanks for being with us too.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.